What's up everybody, my name is Syndrix. Today we're going to be looking at a video game called the Riftbreaker. Now, it's in a closed alpha state, however the developers just released a prologue or demo to the public on Steam starting on August 6th. So we're going to be going through and I'm going to be doing a quick guide or walkthrough for this version of the game. If you have any questions about anything you see in this video, feel free to join me on my Discord channel, link will be in the description, or join me when I stream the game on Twitch at SynTech Gaming over there as well. I'll have a link for that in the description as well. The developers for this game is XOR Studios. They have their own Discord and are interacting with the community a lot. So if you have any feedback or suggestions for the game, make sure you join their Discord. I will have their Discord and a link to the demo also in the description of this video, so make sure you check all that out. Okay, so let's get this started. One of the most beneficial things I can tell you to do when playing this version of the game is to follow the directions that the commentary or voiceovers actually gives you, and you will have instructions to the top left hand side of the screen, so make sure you follow those. So real quickly, as soon as I load in, I'm going to go over some of the basics of the game. It's going to pop up with your default configuration, so it's going to tell you that you have some action items on your numbers. Your movement keys are your WASD. You can change weapons with Q and E. Sprint is left shift. To open up your map is going to be the tab button or the M key, and then you have some menus that you can go into using Y, U, I, and O. Also, another critical one is going to be your left control, which opens up the build menu. Now, I've turned off voiceovers so that I can kind of guide you along the way. So you're not going to be hearing the same thing as far as game content when you play the demo as what you're hearing on this video, just so you know. So I just teleported in here, we're moving around. I know that there is a Carbonium patch up here to the north, and this is going to be one of our first objectives, is to find a Carbonium patch. So I'm going to go ahead and start mining this Carbonium patch by standing on top of it and holding the spacebar. You can see that our first mission is to gather 200 Carbonium, and we're at 195 out of 200. So we can now have our next objective, which is to construct the headquarters building. We can do that by pushing the left control button to open up our build menu. And you can see your build menu here. Let's go ahead and pop down that headquarters really quick. I know that I'm going to need more Carbonium, and this takes 12 seconds to build, so while that's going, I am just going to stand here and mine. Real quick, we can open up our inventory with I, and you can see that you have a repair item on 1, a little explosion from your mech on 2, a mine that you can put down with 3, a nuclear mine, which is just a bigger version of the mine, on 4, and a short-range radar with the number 5. You also come equipped with, in your left hand, a sword, a shield, and a blaster, and in your right hand you have a machine gun, a rocket launcher, and a flamethrower. The purple and red versions of these weapons you can click on, and there are modifier slots that you can put modifiers in. We'll talk about that once we see one of those. Alright, our HQ is built. Our next objective is to build a Carbonium Factory. So we're going to open our build menu back up with the control button. We're going to go over to the shovel icon, and you have your Carbonium Factory is the one on the left, so we'll click that. The way these Carbonium factories work is as long as they are on top of a single piece of Carbonium, they will mine. However, it does remove the resource from the ground. So with that being said, you want to kind of place them strategically so that you can have as many Carbonium factories down, but also where they last for a longer period of time. So this patch here, I like to split 4-way like that. You might not have enough resources to build all 4, but since I was standing there mining the whole time, I was able to do that. Now, your headquarters does produce 20 energy per second. So we're going to go ahead and click on the little electricity symbol and click on the power node and connect that to our Carbonium Factory farm right here. We have available options to us right now for power is the wind turbine. So we can go ahead and throw some of those down. Each one of these Carbonium factories cost 20 energy per second. And you can see your energy resource up here. We are 0 out of 1,000 with negative 59 income right now. So each one of these wind turbines produces 6. So we're gonna need a few of these to get to positive power. Now, I can also see on my mini-map, this little blue patch over here is another patch of carbonium. So to further explore our available power options, I'll come over here and we can throw down one of these carbonium power plants on this. Now the carbonium power plants produce 50 power every second. However, they consume the carbonium patch that they're on. So it's kind of a loss of resources, but they can be good for starting off until you have your solar farm or wind farm down. That way your factories are working non-stop. Alright, our new objective now is to place 6 sentinel towers and 30 wall pieces. So now that I know that I have my power issues resolved entirely, I'm going to actually come on out here and split up this carbonium patch as well in order to increase my carbonium income some more. The developers, when they made this tutorial, they gave you these objectives to follow, and if you go out of order, you can break the progression of the demo. So it's really important, in my opinion, that you kind of follow these steps in order to get the most out of the demo and for it to function the way the developers intended. I'm going to go ahead and throw down a little bit more power. Okay, so with that being said, we are now probably going to be positive on power, and we have a little supply of carbonium coming in. I'm going to go ahead and start to put down these wall pieces. I like this spot a lot for walls on this side. Alright, that gave us 28 out of 30 pieces, and so we're just going to go ahead and double up this wall. Okay, with that being done, we can go ahead and start to place our towers. I'm going to put 1, 2... We're low on carbonium, so we're having to wait for that to produce. 3. And our 4th tower. Now, with the 4 towers placed, we have run out of a resource that's called AI cores. So, we need to open up our build menu and go to our defensive tab, which is this icon. We can select the AI hub, and we can come over here. I like having them near my solar farm because they do require power. I'm just gonna place 1 down for right now. Each AI hub produces 4 AI cores for you to use for defensive structures or repair buildings, things of that nature. So with that being built, we can now come over here and produce a couple more towers. And I'll throw those down like that. Now our objective is to connect all buildings using energy connectors, so we'll come back to our power, and we are going to make sure that all of these do get connected to our main structures that are connected to our solar farm. Now, with that being said, that spawns the first attack that's going to happen to your base. So we've got about 45 seconds to prepare for that attack. We've got an additional 2 AI cores, and we are losing power at 18 a second. So I'm going to go ahead and add some more solar wind turbines.
Base is under attack.
Now we seem to have upset some local creatures, so we can come over here, and attacking is really simple. Left mouse, sword. Right mouse, gun. You can change weapons, like I said earlier, with Q and E. We're just going to leave the sword and machine gun. So some of my buildings got damaged here. So you can open up the control build menu, very far right, repair, and then your repair tool here, and you can repair your items. We are now getting that little attack wave, and our turrets seem to be taking care of that for the most part. We can go up here to our defensive structure and build a gate. You can rotate it with your middle mouse wheel. We'll just throw down a gate really quick so that we can get out. So you see this white shiny thing and this blue shiny thing here? That's actually weapon mods or tower mods that we were talking about earlier. So let's walk across here and pick that stuff up. Also, when you kill the enemies, they drop resources. You can also, on your build menu and the far right option, there's an upgrade tool, and you can upgrade your walls. So that puts those walls to level 2 now, and uses some of that carbonium that we had stored up. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade these walls a little bit more. And that way we have that taken care of. You can also thicken up your walls a little bit more if you want to. 4 deep is just a personal preference of mine that I like. It allows you to have 2 gates. I don't really like where this tower is because it's blocking my gates, so that was just bad placement. So you have 2 options. You can go into your build menu and then far right button, and there's a sell tool, or you can simply click on a building and then your options are here for power, upgrade, repair, sell, and then some buildings do have a little middle button that you can use, and the towers, it takes you to your modifiers that you can place in the tower. I'm going to sell this off. When you sell a building, you don't lose any resources that it costs to make it. So there's no penalty for selling a building and rebuilding it. Now, we are at the point where you have options of what to do. You can go destroy the Canoptrix nest to the west, or you can go find an ore vein to build an Ironium Factory to the northeast. So you can see them, they've marked them on the map for you. The Canoptrix nest is the red one to the left. The Ironium Factory placement is to the blue to the northeast. So if you want to stall the prologue, do not go attack the nest until you're ready for the prologue to continue its progression. So we are going to head out and take care of building the Ironium Factory. And it's going to take me just a couple seconds to walk out here to the northeast, deal with some of these creatures along the way. We're going to head out here and get it built up out here and continue to follow the progression of the instructions provided to us. There's some easy ways to take out these creatures by using some of your abilities. That's what the number 2 thing looks like, and this is what your nuke mine looks like. So that took care of that pretty quickly. Now, if you're using your explosive weapons and things of that nature, you do need to have an armory in order to replenish those things. But we're going to get this Ironium Factory stuff built first. I'm going to go ahead and split this 4 ways as well. You can see now that we made it up here, our instructions changed. So build a Carbonium power plant, build an Ironium Factory, and build the energy connectors for it. So we're going to go ahead and satisfy those requirements really quickly. And then with that being done, you now have the ability to build additional types of power. So our power up here needs to be increased, and in order to do that, we are going to build some solar factories that we now have access to. And then I'm also going to build some batteries for our energy. So the solar panels only work during the day, obviously, when the sun's out. So we want to be able to store that extra power in these batteries. So let's go ahead and continue to increase the number of solar panels we have. If you accidentally misbuild something in the wrong place, you can just open the build menu and click on it and click sell even before it is done constructing, which is very helpful. So our new objectives are to build 4 towers near our Ironium factories. So we'll go ahead and throw down some walls. And then also throw down gates to get through. And we only have 2 AI cores, so we're going to go ahead and throw down an AI core or 2 up here since we have some nice solar panels going. And then that will allow us to put down those 2 towers, and then once these get done building, I can add the additional towers that I need to. And let's connect these with some power. Okay, so the next objective is to place a rift near the Ironium factories. Open your build menu. Under the defensive option, you have a rift portal on the far right side. With that built, it does continue your progression. And so it tells you to open the map now with your tab key. And it wants you to teleport back to your base. You can teleport to your HQ anytime you want. You can also add additional teleporters wherever you want on the map, as long as they are not too close to each other. Now, with what we have done, we have spawned a little attack wave that goes for the mining outpost. So we will teleport back up to our mining outpost and take care of this little attack wave. You can let your towers take care of this if you've built it up pretty well, or you can step through your gates and kind of just help out a little bit. You know, you don't want to have your towers do all the heavy lifting, and it's pretty fun to come out here
We should construct more storage buildings
and take care of these creatures by hand. All right, so we've got all that taken care of. We're going to teleport back to our HQ. And I'm going to hit control and open up my build menu. There's another really important building that you need to build, and that's the armory. So go ahead and get one of those placed down. Now, with everything that has happened, you will now get random small attack waves from the nest that are on the map. So if you have your towers set up, you should be good to defend yourself. I personally like to defend myself in 2 places. And that's the north here. And the west, where the little attacks have been coming from the nest. We're going to go ahead and put ourselves some gates here. Now, it is completely personal preference on where and how you build these things. This is just my personal favorite for these locations. And I also forgot that sometimes they come a little bit more from the south. So we'll go ahead and get this taken care of really quick. Okay, we now have that attack wave taken care of that comes to the base. And we've got another little group of monsters down here. And we can Throw down some walls here. And I'm going to throw down some gates so that we can get out whenever we want. I know I'm going to need power down here because I'm going to be putting some towers down here. So we'll go ahead and run our power connectors back to our base. And we're going to go ahead and throw down a couple of extra AI cores so that we can continue to put down some more towers. Now, our power here, we don't have any batteries. And we're plus power, so I'm going to throw down some batteries really quick. And then I'm going to head out to this little area down here and throw down some towers. Now, with all this built, you should be at a point where your base is somewhat self-sufficient. And this is where you really get to explore what this game has to offer if you want to. So as soon as you go attack the nest to the west, it'll give you another objective and it continues the progression of the prologue. But if you're wanting to explore what's available to you, now is the best time to do that. You can now upgrade your headquarters, and this is one of the most overlooked things in the demo. Your headquarters can upgrade all the way up to level 4. It's currently level 1. When you upgrade to level 2, it takes 2 minutes for this to happen, but it then allows you to build the communications hub. And so I'm going to let this upgrade really quick. Okay, so with the headquarters upgraded, you can now build the communications hub. I will go ahead and throw down one of those for you. And those don't take nearly as long to build. Now, once these build, these buildings actually produce a thing called download speed or research. And you'll notice at the top right, it'll now tell you no research selected. So we can open up your research menu with the O button. You can research abilities that have to do with the mech under the gear or cog icon. And then you have your buildings options over here to the right. Now, as you research some things, more research becomes available. So as you can see here, if we research auxiliary buildings, it unlocks the research for repair buildings level 2, decorations, and the sensor skill. If we research the artillery tower, it unlocks the ability to research the flame tower, quantum CPUs level 2, which is your AI cores, and your ammo and production level 2 for producing ammo for towers. Now, your most limited resource on this map is the Ironium that's up there to the top right that we went and captured. Any explosive weapons, so your nuclear mines, your artillery towers, your rocket launcher, do use that Ironium or steel for the ammo when it's being produced. So if you want to be able to build the most towers and everything, all your buildings that require steel, make sure you don't use as much of that Ironium for those explosive weapons as possible. Little secret, the most powerful tower in the game, in the demo, is called the Railgun. Your HQ does have to be level 4, and there are multiple researches that you have to do in order to get there. So if you want to see that kind of late game tower that's available in the demo, make sure you go through and do all your researching that you need to do. With that being said, I don't want to really spoil too much other things. So from this point, go ahead and explore and see what all is available to you. And whenever you're ready to progress to the final stages of the demo or prologue, just go out there and kill those nests and see how it goes. If you have any questions, please visit me on Twitch. and let me know, or ask in the comments and I will answer any questions that you have. I have our community Discord that you can utilize. Those links will be in the description below. Don't forget to follow here on YouTube. I will be updating and adding some more Riftbreaker content in the future. If I see a demand for additional content like in-depth overview for everything that's available in the demo or the creatures that are in the game, that kind of stuff, let me know and I can produce those videos as well. Thanks so much for tuning in and hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.
Warning, a new group of hostile creatures is coming from a nearby nest.